and even I started to record the session. Okay, so the last set B, we are going to discuss now. Okay, so set B, we are going to discuss now. Cash flow from financing activity they are asked to calculate. They have said that there is a company called LMN Limited who has provided the following information to us. From the information, calculate the net cash flow from financing activity. So, first step, write the set what you are working on. It is set B, right? So, set B, Elico. Now, first question and A subdivision. Okay. So, write the heading cash flow from financing activities. Cash flow from financing activities. So, now you have the table like particulars and amount in terms of rupees. So write once again inner column as cash flow from financing activities. Let's start understanding the question what are they given in this tabular column. Equity share capital. You have got 2 years 2021 and 2022. I have changed the columns. Usually, the first column, as per your CFS company's records, it will be of current year, and the right hand side might be the previous year. But here, I made a change in such a way: first column representing your previous year, and the second column is representing your current year. Now, compare and tell me, compared to the previous year, current year value of shares has gone up or it has come down. Your share values has gone up or come down. To what extent? Very good. So that means increase. So that means it is cash you have received from the issue of equity shares. Okay. So you have to write it now. Okay. Cash received from equity shares or issue of equity shares. Okay. So cash received from issue of equity shares. Value is 2 lakhs. Write it in the amount column. Okay. Followed by that, what else is given? You check it up. It is mentioned here as okay 12 percentage long term borrowings debentures. So what has happened to debentures? Last year it was 1 lakh, current year it is 2 lakh. So debentures increase or decreased? Debenture increase or decrease? So that is also issue of debentures. So cash received from issue of long term borrowings. Write it over here. Cash received from issue of long term borrowings. Within a bracket, you can mention it as 12 percentage debentures. This value is rupees 1 lakh. Okay, this value is rupees 1 lakh. Now, coming up to your okay question. Additional information, you have two more items. What are they? Interest paid on debentures. So that means it is an outflow of cash, and dividend paid is also an outflow of cash. These two items to be subtracted. So you can use like cash used in payment of interest on long-term borrowings, 12 percentage, 12,000 rupees. Okay, so you are going to record now the payment what you are going to do or what you have done. So you'll record one below the other. So it is as cash cash used in payment of interest on long-term borrowings. Okay, long-term borrowings within a bracket 12 percentage debentures. This value is an outflow of cash, so record it with the negative value bracket value 12,000. And then you also said like you are paid dividend to the extent of rupees 50,000. So record that also as a final value. So cash used in payment of dividend 50,000. So you have positive value of 3 lakh, you have negative value of 62,000. So your final value will be positive figure or negative figure. Very good. So it will be as net cash inflow. Okay, net cash inflow from financing activities. From financing activities, value comes to rupees 2 lakh 38,000. This is the first question. Okay, segment. I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, coming up to your B subdivision. Okay, what they've asked you to do in B, 1B, just read the question. In 1B, if you see from the following information, calculate the amount of cash flow from operating activities. Now look into this question. I made the first column for the current year and second column in the previous year. So மேல உள்ள கொஸ்டின் எப்படி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க first column is representing previous year, second column current year. But the below question I made a slight twist. First column is for the previous current year and second column for the previous year. So before you start any question, read the question right from top to bottom, left to right, right to left, across diagonal everywhere. So something they might have changed the pattern or they might have retained the same pattern. So if you don't find the differences and if you go with the blind assumptions, you may go wrong. Okay. So please do the needful. Now again I am to prepare the table to find out the cash flow from operating activities. Okay. So what are the items you have? There is something called as balance as per the statement of profit and loss. So current year is 2 lakh 50, previous year is 1 lakh 80. So difference between these two will be your net profit for the year. And then you have to add the items like depreciation. You have the value depreciation of fixed assets over here. So first let me calculate this balance. You're finding out the difference between these two value, and that will be rupees 70,000. And then there is a depreciation which is mentioned in the below. So difference between 20 and 15, that gives you 5,000. So that is for depreciation. And provision for doubtful debts is also provided, like 12,000 the current year and 9,000 the previous year. Difference value will be your amount, that is 3,000, which should be added up. And then there is some adjustment of working capital changes, trade receivable debtors, the value has got increased. So increase in current asset. Will you add or you subtract? What will you do? It should be subtracted. So the difference is how much? 85 minus 65 is nothing but 25,000, right? So the 25,000 amount of debtors should be subtracted, And then there is one more thing like inventories. There is stock in trade 1 lakh rupees in the current year and previous year it is 1 lakh 20. Decrease in current asset should be added or should be subtracted. Decrease in current asset value is 20,000 rupees. Tell me this 20,000 should be added or subtracted. Decrease in current asset. Hello. But decrease in current asset, will you subtract it or will you add it? Please respond. Very good. The next is there is something called prepaid expenses. So what has happened to prepaid expense? Earlier it was 12, now it is 10. So again there is a decrease. Value of rupees 2000 got decreased. So decrease in current asset, prepaid expenses. Will you add or subtract? Should be added or subtracted? It should be added. So we are done with this trade receivables, inventories, prepaid. Now comes two more items, trade payables from 38,000 rupees, sorry, from 45,000 rupees previous year, it has come down to 38. So current liability decrease. What will you do? Decrease in current liability. What will you do? So 7,000 rupees is a shortfall. The 7,000 rupees should be subtracted. So you are done with your trade payable. Salary outstanding. What type of liability is that? Current liability. So increase airka, decrease airka per. It was 13,000 earlier. Now it is 18,000. So increase in current liability. So what will you do with increase in current liability? Add or subtract? Very good. So how much it has got increased by? Very good. So 5,000 rupees it has got increased by. When you do these things, add and subtract, you will get the final value. So that is what we are going to do now. Okay, so we are already discussed how I am going to get the values, add and subtract. So straight away I am going to prepare the calculation. So solution. So particulars, amount in rupees inner column and outer column. So write down as cash flow from operating activities. Cash flow from operating activities. So first one, net profit before tax and extraordinary items. Net profit before tax and extraordinary items. You can refer it in the inner column itself how we are getting the value from the amount of rupees 2 lakh 50,000. If you subtract the amount of rupees 1 lakh 80, you are getting the value of rupees 70,000. So this is the item with which you are going to start off. Okay, this amount should be okay. Now you just write the heading as adjustment of non-cash and non-operating items. Adjustment of non-cash and non-operating items. Under this only you are going to write add depreciation, value of depreciation. You are showing it in the inner column 20,000 minus 50,000. That value in the inner column you are recording as 5000. Okay, so it will be as 5000. And then provision for doubtful debts. Provision for doubtful debts. So this value is also like amount of 12,000 minus 9,000, that gives me 3,000. The net value you can record it in the outer column as 8,000. And now you are going to have adjustment of working capital. Adjustment of working capital. So here also you are going to first bring out the add segment, then you go with the less segment. So first, decrease in inventories. Decrease in your inventories. Okay, what is the value of decrease in inventories? 20,000 rupees. Am I right? Next is decrease in prepaid expenses. Decrease in prepaid expenses. Okay, value is rupees 2,000. And then increase in salaries outstanding. Okay, increase in salaries outstanding. Again I'm repeating, outstanding la O bar S in the போடக்கூடாது. Okay, salaries outstanding, that comes to 5,000 rupees. So all these put together comes to a total of rupees 27,000 in the outer column. And finally, you are going to bring out in the segment of less two items, increase in trade receivables. The value of trade receivable increases rupees 25,000, and decrease in trade payables. Decrease in trade payables. Value of this is rupees 7,000. So since these two are the items to be subtracted, I can go to the bracket, add these two, the net amount you are showing it as negative value 32,000. So you have a positive value of 70,000 plus 8,000, 78,000 plus 27,000, from which if you subtract the amount of rupees 32,000, you will be ending up with the value of rupees how much? 73,000. Am I making sense to you? Net cash inflow from operating activities. This you'll record as net cash inflow from what activity? Operating activities. Any doubt in the second subdivision of first question? Any doubt? Yeah. So coming up to your second question, first one. The quarter report of a company is given the following information about the sales revenue and net profit for the second quarter of the current year and the second quarter of the previous year. So here if you see in the previous ones in set A, you had like segment A and segment B, two segment you had it, and then you had it the value of sales, and what else you had it, value of sales, and what else you had it. Yes, here if you see you have been given sales and revenue. Okay, that's net profit, and it is for two different quarters. They are not given the segment. Okay, that's the difference. It is not segment. So second quarter for 21-22 and second quarter for 2020 and 2021. With this, you are going to comment it. So what they asked, which quarter is performing better? Has the performance has improved? That's the first question. Second question they're asking is, comment using the ratio as a tool of your analysis. What is it? What is it? B. They are saying you to calculate the current liquidity from the following information, and calculate debt to equity ratio from the following information. So these are the calculations to be done. Now quickly we'll understand what needs to be done. So for the second case, A, that is 2A, you find out the net profit ratio. So net profit divided by the sales into 100, you calculate it for the year 21-22 and for 21-20-20-20-21. So that will give you the percentages. Okay, so you calculate it separately for this segment and this segment. So I'm going to do that calculation right now here. So second question, A solution, write what you have to find. Net profit ratio is equal to the net profit divided by the sales into 100. So first you go for net profit ratio second quarter, which year you're going to perform, 2021-2022. So for this, the net profit value is given as rupees 1,90,000 divided by your sale value. So what is the sale value? If you see, it is given as rupees 8 lakhs. Am I right? 1,90,000 by rupees 8 lakhs into 100. So when you cancel the common zeros, you will be getting an amount of value of rupees 23.75 percentage. In the same way, you calculate it even for the second segment, that is net profit ratio second quarter 2020-2021. So for this, the value is rupees 1,50,000 divided by the amount of rupees 6,50,000 into 100. Cancelling the common zeros, it will give you 23.08 percentage. Now you tell me which particular ratio, that is which particular net profit ratio is higher, whether for the second quarter of 21-22 or 2020-2021, which is higher. So you'll write your answer as comparing the ratios of second quarter for both the years. The net profit ratio of 2021-22 is more. Hence, the performance of the company has improved, because they also asked whether it has improved in the performance or not. So you'll give your answer like it has improved in its performance. Now coming up to the B segment. I hope first one is clear to everyone. You have to write your declaration over here. Final answer to be declared over here. Okay, on the base of what you are declaring this as improved and whether it is good, what is the percentage is all about. Now, the B segment. What is the B question they ask you? Calculate the current liability from the following information. So they are giving you current ratio, quick ratio, and inventory. With the help of this, we need to calculate the current liability. So write down the formula. Current ratio is equal to, don't use shortcuts because of time constraint. I'm using shortcut here. Please don't use shortcuts. So current assets divided by current liability. At the same time, you do have the quick ratio in the question. Okay, so quick ratio is equal to your quick assets divided by your current liability. So now what they are given in the question, once again you check it up. Current ratio they are given 5 is to 3. Right? That means CA by CL is 5 by 3. Am I right? Okay, so current ratio they are given as 5 by 3, and quick ratio, quick assets by current liability is given as 3 by 2. This is what they are given in the question. I'll take your question once again. You can just see to it. Your quick ratio is given as 3 is to 2. So that's the reason I'm mentioning numerator as 3, denominator as 2. Okay. Now I'm just going to frame current asset by current liability minus your quick assets will give you inventory value. Am I right? From the total current asset, if you subtract your quick assets, that will be the value of inventory. Do you agree? Do you agree? Because current asset includes inventory, whereas quick assets does not include inventory. From the total of current asset, if you subtract your inventory, that will be subtract the value of your quick assets, that gives inventory. So this is how I'm going to perform it. So that means 5 by 3 minus the value of 3 by 2 is equal to, okay, 1 by 6 by taking the LCM. 3 and 2 I'm taking LCM. So 3 twos are 6, base 6. 3 into 2, 5 into 2. So that means 5 twos are 10. And 2 into 3 and 3 into 3, 9. 10 minus 9 is given me 1. That's how I'm getting 1 by 6. LCM எடுத்து காட்டுறமா? I think I don't want to make you so childish. I think it is more than enough. So now you are going to write here inventory, okay, by current liability is equal to 1 by 6. Because how you are getting inventory by current liability, there is a CA minus CL, okay, that is inventory. So inventory by CL is equal to 1 by 6, and here you are going to substitute the formula. So that is 4000 by CL, 4000 by CL is equal to 1 by 6. So that means CL is equal to rupees 24,000 by cross multiplying the values. Is it clear to you? 4,000 from where you are getting it? From the question only I will derive the value of 4,000. Inventory they given 4,000. So that's what I am substituting it to get the value. Any doubt up to this? Any doubt to anyone? Right. The last one, again the debt to equity, so ratio. Write the formula debt by equity. Okay. So this is otherwise like long-term debts by shareholder funds. So here the debt value is nothing but 1,70,000. How come? Come to your question. They are given you total asset is 3,50,000, total debt is 2,50,000, current liability is 80. So from the total debts, if you subtract current liability, you will get your long-term debts. So 2,50,000 minus 80, how much you'll get? 1,70,000. Okay, so that means your total debts TD minus your current liability will be is equal to your non-current liability. That is long-term debts. Okay, or I can say LTD. I can say non-current liability, or it is otherwise called as long-term debts LTD. So that means from the value of rupees 2,50,000 rupees, If I'm subtracting the value of rupees 80,000, that will give me the value of rupees 1 lakh 70 as my debt. And then equity. They are given me equity, just check it up. Do I have equity here or how I get equity? Shareholder funds. Okay. So shareholder funds is nothing but from the total asset if you subtract your total debts, that will be equity. So that means from the value of rupees 3 lakh 50,000, if I am going to subtract the value of rupees 2 lakh 50,000, this will give me the value of rupees 1 lakh. So now the debt value is 1 lakh 70 and equity value is rupees 1 lakh. So this will give me the required value. So rupees 1 lakh 70 by rupees 1 lakh is nothing but 17 is to 10. Okay, this is nothing but 17 is to 10. I hope I made it clear all the three segments, there's three sets A, B, C. Each and every problem we have discussed it. Please review it with your question paper and with your answer key. Even wherever it has gone wrong, I changed it and I corrected it. I hope it is clear to everyone and thank you for your support and coordination cooperation. With this, I am winding up the session. If you find any difficulty in calculations or anything you still want the guidelines, let me know. I'll get in touch with you personally and I can clear your doubts. Thank you, students. Yeah, welcome, 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 welcome.